everyone, and in today's video we're going to be looking at the highly anticipated Infinity Gauntlet Marvel Legends Thanos figure. This costume, of course, is as it appears in the classic Infinity Gauntlet crossover event from the 90s. But the eagle-eyed amongst you will notice he also comes with an extra head, and this is Old Man Thanos as he appears in the Donny Cates run of comics. It's not quite the accurate costume, but it's a nice little extra to have anyway. Now, straight off the bat, I would say that the packaging for this figure is absolutely fantastic. I think the artwork's really lovely, and there's a lot of attention to detail. We can see on the side there, and also the inlay, the inset inside is really nice. It's made out to be Thanos' throne, and it just looks really, really nice. Now, looking at the figure himself, straight away, he looks fantastic. He looks really, really nice. There's something about the paint apps that are really pleasing to the eye. The sculpting is great. I really particularly like that sculpt on the face. I think it looks fantastic. And of course, he's perfectly in proportion, and he looks really solid. So you get top marks that I think some of the paint wash as well. There's like that gold metallic effect is great, and I just love the expression on his face. They've really captured the essence of the character. The head, of course, does pop off, so we can have a look at that now, so we can see the Old Man Thanos. So this isn't really comic accurate, but it's a nice little extra to have, and I have to say, again, the sculpting on this looks great. It looks really, really nice. They've done a great job. Now, in terms of articulation, his head does rotate all the way around, which is nice. There's no barriers there, which is fantastic. It can't really look down. That's it. That's a sum total. He can't go much further than that. He can look all the way up, which looks cool. And like I said, from side to side there, no problems whatsoever. But yeah, if you want him looking down, you're going to have to use that ab crunch that he's been given, because he can't do it like that. Which is a shame, but it's a very minor criticism in the full scheme. Now, in terms of the articulation, obviously we know what to expect from Marvel Legends, so it's got all the usual articulation there, the ball jointed shoulders, the swivel bicep, and of course a single joint at the elbow. And to be honest, I do have issues with this, just because you can't really bend his arm very far at all, so you're not going to get a great range of dynamic poses out of that. And that is really disappointing, and it does bother me a lot, actually, I have to say. But his waist does move from side to side there, and I'm pleased to say that the belt isn't too much of a barrier to that. Now, the ab joint makes up for this a little bit. He can crunch forward, which looks okay, to be honest, not too bad. It does excel when it comes to crunching backwards. You can get some great poses there, and he looks pretty good. His hands do swivel 360 degrees at the wrist there, as you'd expect, really. Which is good, but when it comes to the wrist, actually bending the fist backwards and forwards, quite limited. Now the legs do pleasingly move all the way forwards, so that's a pretty good arc, not bad. Going backwards, not great, to be honest. Doesn't really go back very far at all. Obviously it's got the extra, thigh swivel there, and it does have double jointed knees, which is great, so you can get a really good range of posability out of the legs, and they go back quite a distance there, which look great. It does have the ankle pivots, which are fantastic, really nice and solid, and look really good. And as you can see, the foot goes all the way back there as well, and goes quite a distance forward, so actually the foot articulation is fantastic. And as we saw before, he does come with some extras as well. He comes with an extra Old Man Thanos head, an alternative gauntlet hand, and a closed fist. And these are cool, nice little extras to have that really, just enhance the figure's value, really. So I thought I'd do some comparisons against other figures of a similar scale. I have to say, here he is against, obviously, the Marvel Legends Kingpin that was released last year. Doesn't look right to me in terms of the scale. Kingpin is actually fractionally taller than Thanos here, and just looks more rounded overall, and that just doesn't sit right with me. So I did a quick Google, and I found this at marvelfandom.com, which does indeed seem to indicate that actually they should be the same sort of scale. So maybe it's just me. Let me know if I'm the only one who thinks that's off. It might just be me, so let me know in the comments below. And so here he is against the Joe Fixit Hulk. So obviously, I do feel that Thanos should be the same size as the Hulk. That makes total sense. And that's kind of how I've always seen it, really. They're on a similar sort of scale. Maybe the Hulk will be fractionally bigger. But this is Joe Fixit. And obviously, Joe Fixit was slightly smaller Hulk than the Green Savage Hulk. So again, I'm not sure if this looks right to me. Certainly, I'm more comfortable with this than with Kingpin, but I'm still a little bit unsure. So I went back over to MarvelFandom.com, and I do feel a little bit vindicated because it does say there that actually Mr. Fixit should be slightly smaller than Thanos. So yeah, make of that what you will. And here he is standing next to Kang. Obviously, this looks really appropriate. This looks fantastic, and I'm much happy with this sort of arrangement. So maybe I'm just nitpicking when it comes to the scale, but I do like the sort of one of the joys of the Marvel Legends collection is them all being roughly in a good scale with each other. So when I do notice it does kind of stick out to me a little bit, but this looks really good. And for those of you who are wondering how the Marvel Legends stacks up against the Marvel Select version of Thanos, I've put them both side to side here, so you can have a good look. It's a very difficult one to judge this. I do prefer the scale of the Marvel Select, and I always really love this figure. I do think the proportions are probably better on the Marvel Legends. Certainly the colouring is much nicer, that rich gold and the deeper blue, and the expression on the face. But I still think the Marvel Select looks pretty damn good. So then in terms of a summary or conclusion, I have to say, yeah, I think this is a fantastic looking figure. The packaging's brilliant, the paint wash looks fantastic. I love that slightly metallic gold, and like I said, the sculpt itself is just fantastic. If I was nitpicking, I am slightly disappointed by the arm articulation at the elbow there, and a little bit with the legs as well. And like I said, there's that little bit with the scale that bothers me slightly. It's a great looking figure, and he looks great on the shelf with the other figures, but there's just something that kind of stops it from being a 5-star figure for me. And I really want it to be, and maybe that's part of the problem. Maybe I have too much expectation because he's one of my favourite characters. But yeah, I'd have to say probably a 3 from me, to be honest. Probably a 3 out of 5. And yeah, I do think probably the best Thanos figure on the market. So if you're in two minds about buying him, I would say go for it, get him. I don't think you'll regret it. But I think if you've got high expectations, then you may be fractionally disappointed. I hope you enjoyed the vid. If you did, please do give it a like. And remember to subscribe, as I will be posting more videos soon.